Hi, Young America. How are you guys out there? I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the springtime as it approaches for many of us, and that this wintertime is finally gone. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Let it be gone. Oh my gosh. All right. So today, I'm Jasmine Jones, and I'm here to present the weekly address to young Americans. This show is sponsored by an organization called YOU, which stands for Young, Organized, and United. All right, so I get all kinds of giddy on days like this where we talk about health. So yes, today's show is called FAFSA is to EFC, which is expected family contribution, like exercise is to ELC, which is expected life contribution. So today's show is just talking about the importance of exercise in our lives and just all the benefits that come with it and why it's important for us to do it. And I know we've had conversations about this, we hear it all the time, but it's just something that we have to keep driving in the hole as more of us begin to pick it up in our lifestyles. So I wanted to start off by just building a picture about why it's important for this type of conversation. So back like 2 years ago, I was trying to become an aerobics instructor, and I was like adamant about doing it. And the only reason it didn't work out was because the testing times, it was just really complicated and never could quite work, which means it probably was, I didn't need to move forward. However, I did retain a lot of the information I learned. And one of the major takeaways I took away was just how precious the body was, the human body. It's amazing that our brain can tell our bodies to move left and move right, and our body actually moves, right? Like, it's crazy, and even the fact that the body can protect and nourish itself naturally and tell you when something's wrong. So when you have something that is so precious like this, I feel, like we all probably feel, that you have to take care of it and you have to keep it as top notch so it can perform at its best throughout our lives. So, that's just one big takeaway, and I really want to put it out there to people who are still on the fence about picking this up or, not quite buying all the benefits. I really want to just say, in general, it's not just exercise, it's about eating, but I want to take a moment to really compare ourselves as adults to babies, okay? So as a baby, when we think about raising children, we're very particular about what they eat, and we don't try to give them, super fatty foods or alcohol or cigarettes to consume. And yes, it's because of their age and development, and level of choice that we really want to limit those things, but we're really doing it for their overall health. So I want to just say, the same way that we put thought and care into raising a healthy baby is the same way we have to put thought and care into raising a healthy adult, which is for ourselves. So I hope that just speaks to a few of you guys out there. And now I want to go ahead and dig into some of the things that definitely exercise has a huge benefit on. Okay, so the very first thing that exercise has a huge benefit on is that it does increase our energy and focus. Okay, so I know that there are some tired souls out there. We just feel tired, and it's true, and that's nothing wrong with anybody. I think that however, just doing a little research, according to WebMD, which a lot of us are familiar with, he's our online doctor, or she, whoever we want to call it, they said that more than 90% of sedentary people that participated in a regular exercise program improved in fatigue versus those who didn't. And I think that that's often overlooked, that exercise plays a big role in helping you get energy, and people would think it takes away, but it doesn't work like that. Exercise revitalizes the body, it helps the body take time to do the things it needs to do, and what it ends up doing is allowing you to have more energy when you are executing different things throughout the day, as well as focus. So focus is a big thing, especially for all my working people out there, because some of us are working 8-12-hour days and it's just hard. Well, what I've learned is what happens is that if you exercise, it increases the blood flow in your brain cells, okay? And when your brain cells are affected, they begin to branch and connect in different ways, and that's technically the basis of learning. So all of that brain function that happens after exercising and the aftermaths really do help us begin to concentrate and focus, which allows us to learn more, take in more, and things like that. So if you are having a hard time focusing, or if you're feeling a lot tired lately, just try to get up and do a little run every once in a while, or some jumping jacks in the morning, because I do believe it has a great benefit. All right, so that's the first one, that it increases our energy and focus. The second thing is that it really does affect our self-esteem and self-confidence. Now, I know there is not an individual out there that does not start feeling themselves when they start exercising. You know, you start looking at your body in the mirror, you're like, okay, you know, and I think that that's just the results of it. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure that even for myself, you know, I try and put on some pants that I know I still can't fit, but I feel that good when I'm gonna put these pants on, you know. So, you know, and it does show in your demeanor and your attitude. So definitely exercise does have an immediate impact because people pick up on it. People always pick up on it when you're doing something that's good for your body because it shows. So if you're looking for a pick-me-up, go ahead and start on your summertime fine and go ahead and get started with some exercising, okay? And the very last one is that exercise, and this is a no-brainer, increases life expectancy. Now, this is not a blanket, right? You know, this is exercise doesn't mean that, you know, your life is protected from its life's past. You know, that's not what I'm saying. However, exercise does play a very big role as we begin to consider some of the things that are happening to a lot of Americans out there. So things like heart disease and diabetes are becoming very prevalent among Americans, you know, and it's all based on the fact that there's certain choices that we make. Now, granted, some things are hereditary, some things just happen, you know, and we can't really explain it. However, you always have to put your best foot forward. So with exercise, it does begin to combat some of those things as it keeps your body moving, it keeps your metabolism up, it keeps your blood flowing and circulating, it lowers things like strokes and, like I said before, heart disease and diabetes. And I need to just speak candidly for myself. So I have a sweet tooth that is out of this world, okay? Out of this world. And I know that I have to do extra care to take care of that because I know it can affect me, you know? And so the one thing that I do is exercise regularly because it's my strategy, you know, to combat, you know, the things that may come from the things I take in, and I do it so that my metabolism stays high and therefore I can get the waste out quicker. So, you know, for everybody out there that may have a bad habit, you know, or, you know, may just be sedentary because they haven't found the thing for them, you know, just be conscious that, you know, we do have to figure out something to combat those natural ways of ours so that we can remain healthy and live long, healthy lives, okay? So I want to close out by just giving 2 little tips for those who are thinking about going ahead and exercising. There are 2 different ways you can do it, depending on who you are. If you like to exercise with groups, there are tons of things out there. You've got yoga, soul cycle, bar classes. These are all kind of fads, right? Like they're not the usual gym time, but these are like lifestyle exercising classes that allow you to work with the same group and really work out a lot of your body in alternative ways versus just lifting weights and doing push-ups, you know, even though the traditional way is just as fine. Or you can even consider doing fun groups like Black Girls Run or your soccer adult league that's with the public or with coworkers. But all of it just encourages you to stay consistent because you're working with a group and you're probably paying for it in some way. So it has kind of a draw to it. Now, for those who like to exercise alone, you know, I definitely would like to promote 2 videos that I think are excellent for girls and for guys, whichever one you want. One is Jillian Michaels' workout tape. That's what started me, and it definitely kicked me off to do a whole lot of great things. So her, or I have a friend who is a P90X nutcase, and I will say it definitely has shown in his transformation over the past few years. So if you're a P90Xer, definitely would look into it if you have the strength to get there. So yes, that's all I have for today, and I'm hopeful that you guys took something away from the conversation we've had. Now, definitely looking forward to next week where the conversation will kind of be real, where we'll talk about the topic of the show is I went to college, but I work at Wendy's. And the forethought that I want to discuss next week is not to focus on where you are, but to focus on where you're going. Okay? So definitely look forward to talking to you guys next week, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.